Welcome, and let the world grow soft and still around you. As your breathing slows all on its own, imagine drifting gently outward from the Earth, past the moon and the planets, and inward through the great crowd of stars, toward the very center of our galaxy. To a quiet, unseen heart around which everything you have ever known turns slowly. That heart is Sagittarius A*, the supermassive black hole at the center of the Milky Way, and tonight we will drift softly around it, one calm fact at a time. There is nothing you need to hold on to now. Just breathe and let go, and welcome back to Beyond the Stars. The first fact is that Sagittarius A* is the supermassive black hole that rests at the very center of our own Milky Way galaxy, the still and silent heart around which billions upon billions of stars turn slowly. A place so calm and so far away that its name is spoken softly, like a gentle secret held quietly at the middle of everything you have ever known. The second fact is that its name is spoken aloud as Sagittarius A*, and astronomers write it with a small star symbol at the end, a single quiet asterisk resting just after the letter, a soft little mark that gives the black hole its gentle nickname, SGR A*, whispered fondly among those who study the deep heart of our galaxy. The third fact is that Sagittarius A* takes its name from the constellation of Sagittarius, the Archer, for that is the direction in which it lies when we look up from the Earth. So that when you gaze toward those quiet stars on a warm summer night, you are looking softly toward the true and hidden center of the whole Milky Way. The fourth fact is that a black hole is simply a place where matter has gathered so closely and so tightly that its gravity grows immensely strong enough that nothing which drifts too near can ever leave again, not even light itself, and yet, from a safe and gentle distance, it rests quietly, harming nothing at all, turning softly and patiently in the calm surrounding dark. The fifth fact is that despite its name, a black hole is not really a hole or an opening in space, but rather an object, a great concentration of mass drawn together into a very small region. A quiet knot of gravity, dark and still, holding its silence at the center of the vast and slowly swirling galaxy all around it. The sixth fact is that Sagittarius A* was discovered in the year 1974, when two astronomers named Bruce Ballack and Robert Brown detected a faint and steady source of radio waves coming from the exact center of our galaxy. A quiet hum drifting out of the dark, gently revealing that something unusual was resting there, deep within the crowded stars. The seventh fact is that this discovery was made not with ordinary light, but with radio telescopes, great dishes that gather the faint radio glow of the cosmos. For the center of the galaxy is hidden behind thick clouds of dust that block visible light, yet radio waves pass softly through, carrying their quiet signal to us across the long years. The eighth fact is that the name Sagittarius A* was given in the year 1982 by Robert Brown, one of its discoverers, who chose the small star symbol with gentle and thoughtful care. A quiet moment of naming, in which a nameless point of radio light at the heart of the galaxy was finally given the soft title we still use today. The ninth fact is that the little star symbol was borrowed from the language of physics, where such a mark is used to show that an atom is excited, holding a bit of extra energy within it. And so the star in Sagittarius A* was chosen to mark it as a special and exciting source, a thing worth wondering about, glowing quietly in the dark. The 10th fact is that Sagittarius A* is the nearest supermassive black hole to the Earth, closer to us than any other of its enormous kind anywhere in the universe, which makes it a rare and precious gift to astronomers, for it lets us study one of the strangest objects in all the cosmos from as near as we could ever hope to be. The 11th fact is that Sagittarius A* sits at the gravitational center of the Milky Way, the quiet pivot around which the entire galaxy slowly turns, so that our Sun, and the Earth, and everything you have ever known, drifts in a great and patient circle around this single dark and distant point, far away at the middle of it all. The 12th fact is that black holes are thought to form when a great amount of matter collapses inward under its own gravity, drawing together until it grows almost unimaginably dense, and the supermassive kind, like Sagittarius A*, has grown across billions of years, gathering its mass slowly and gently at the very heart of its galaxy. The 13th fact is that Sagittarius A* belongs to a special class known as supermassive black holes, the largest black holes in the whole universe, found resting at the centers of great galaxies. And though it is enormous by any earthly measure, it is actually a fairly modest one, smaller and calmer than the giants that lie at the hearts of other galaxies. The 14th fact is that every black hole has an invisible boundary called the event horizon, a kind of gentle edge marking the point of no return. Anything that drifts across it can never come back out again. And yet the horizon itself is not a wall or a surface, only a quiet line drawn softly through the empty dark of space. The 15th fact is that the letter A in its name simply marks it as the brightest radio source in the constellation of Sagittarius, for astronomers long ago labeled such sources with letters, and the very brightest, the strongest quiet glow of radio light in that whole patch of sky was gently named Sagittarius A, with our black hole hidden at its heart. The 16th fact is that we cannot see Sagittarius A* with ordinary eyes, or even with ordinary telescopes, for it lies hidden behind vast and drifting clouds of dust and gas thousands of light years thick, so that its true heart is veiled from visible light and revealed only to the patient instruments that can peer softly through the haze. The 17th fact is that we know Sagittarius A* is there not because we can see it directly, but because we can watch the stars near it swing around a single invisible point, their swift and looping orbits gently betraying the presence of something immensely heavy and yet unseen, resting quietly in the dark at the center of it all. The 18th fact is that a black hole appears black for a simple and gentle reason, that light cannot climb back out of its powerful gravity to reach our waiting eyes, and so it shows itself only by its effects, by the way it bends the paths of stars and light around it, a silent shape known softly by its shadow alone. The 19th fact is that although a black hole may sound frightening, Sagittarius A* is a calm and distant thing, resting quietly tens of thousands of light years away, drawing nothing toward it that is not already very close. So you may let go of any worry, for it turns gently at the heart of our galaxy, harming nothing at all in the peaceful dark. The 20th fact is that for all its mystery, Sagittarius A* is simply the anchor of our galaxy, the quiet weight at the center that holds the whole slow wheel of the Milky Way gently together. A dark and patient heart, unseen and silent, keeping its faithful place at the middle of the vast and softly turning sea of stars. The 21st fact is that Sagittarius A* holds within it a truly staggering amount of matter, about 4.3 million times the mass of our own sun, all gathered into a single dark and silent point. A weight so immense that no mind can ever truly hold it, and yet it rests utterly still and quiet at the center of the galaxy. The 22nd fact is that to gather 4.3 million suns into one place is beyond all ordinary imagining, for our own sun is already more than 1,000,000 times the size of the whole Earth, and Sagittarius A* holds the weight of millions of such suns, drawn quietly together into a region far smaller than you might ever expect. The 23rd fact is that astronomers measured this enormous mass by watching how quickly the stars nearest the center whirl around it. For the faster they move, the heavier the unseen thing they orbit must be, and their swift and graceful motions gently revealed a weight of millions of suns hidden at that single quiet and invisible point. The 24th fact is that the event horizon of Sagittarius A*, the dark boundary from which nothing returns, is roughly 24 million kilometers across. A distance that sounds vast to us, and yet is remarkably small for something holding the weight of millions of suns, a quiet measure of just how dense a black hole truly is. The 25th fact is that the radius of that dark boundary, the distance from the very center out to the edge, is about 12 million kilometers, a measure astronomers call the Schwarzschild radius, named for the scientist who first described such a boundary long ago, gently working out the mathematics of black holes on paper before any were ever found. The 26th fact is that if you could line up our sun end to end across the width of that event horizon, you would need about 17 suns to span it, so that the dark heart of Sagittarius A asterisk is wide enough to hold 17 of our own stars in a quiet row, resting gently side by side within its shadow. The 27th fact is that the event horizon of Sagittarius A asterisk is roughly the size of the orbit of Mercury, the innermost planet of our own solar system, so that if this great black hole were somehow set where our sun now rests, its dark boundary would reach out gently to about where little Mercury quietly circles. The 28th fact is that although the event horizon is millions of kilometers wide, it is astonishingly tiny compared to the galaxy it anchors, a mere speck at the center of 100,000 light-years of stars, a small dark point holding gentle sway over a great wheel of suns unimaginably larger than itself. The 29th fact is that to fit 4 million suns into a space no larger than a planet's orbit, matter must be squeezed to a density beyond anything we know on the Earth, and yet, gently, a black hole is not truly a solid object at all, but a region of space bent so deeply by gravity that it folds quietly in upon itself. The 30th fact is that at the very center of a black hole, our theories tell us, all the gathered mass is drawn down toward a single point of unimaginable smallness, a place called the singularity. A quiet mystery where our understanding softly runs out, and where the rules we know gently give way to something we have yet to fully grasp. The 31st fact is that seen from the great distance of the Earth, the dark shadow of Sagittarius A asterisk appears astonishingly small in our sky, only about 52 millionths of a single arcsecond across. A measure so tiny that it is like trying to see a small donut resting quietly on the surface of the distant moon. The 32nd fact is that 52 microarcseconds is a span so vanishingly small that no ordinary telescope on the Earth could ever hope to resolve it, which is why capturing a picture of Sagittarius A asterisk required linking telescopes all across the whole planet into one great and patient eye, as wide as the Earth itself. The 33rd fact is that although 4 million suns is an enormous mass, Sagittarius A asterisk is actually a rather modest supermassive black hole, for some galaxies hold central black holes billions of times the mass of the Sun. Great and hungry giants beside which our own quiet heart is small, calm, and gently unassuming. The 34th fact is that the more massive a black hole becomes, the larger its event horizon grows gently and steadily, in perfect proportion to its weight, so that the size of the dark boundary is simply another way of measuring the mass within, and the 24 million kilometer horizon of Sagittarius A asterisk softly tells us the weight it holds. The 35th fact is that black holes can also turn, spinning slowly upon themselves, and Sagittarius A asterisk appears to rotate as well, carrying the very fabric of space gently around with it. A quiet swirling at the heart of the galaxy, so smooth and so steady that it stirs the surrounding dark without a single sound. The 36th fact is that a black hole has no hard surface for anything to land upon, no ground and no shell, only the invisible edge of the event horizon drawn softly through empty space, so that to fall toward one would be to drift through open darkness, crossing a boundary you could never see or feel at all. The 37th fact is that even with the weight of 4 million suns, Sagittarius A asterisk is only a very small fraction of the whole mass of the Milky Way, which holds hundreds of billions of stars, so that the black hole does not truly rule the galaxy by its weight alone, but rests gently at its center like a quiet anchor stone. The 38th fact is that every measurement of Sagittarius A asterisk, its mass, its size, and its shadow, has been gathered patiently and indirectly, by watching the stars and light around it rather than the black hole itself. A gentle detective's work, piecing together the shape of the unseen from the soft clues it leaves quietly behind. The 39th fact is that if you imagine shrinking the whole Milky Way down to the size of a continent, Sagittarius A asterisk would be smaller than a single grain of sand at its center. And yet that tiny grain would hold enough gravity to keep the entire vast landscape of stars turning gently and faithfully around it. The 40th fact is that in its mass and its size, Sagittarius A asterisk shows us how strange and gentle the universe can be, holding millions of suns within a space you could nearly circle in a single voyage, quiet and dark and still. A small dark heart of extraordinary weight, resting patiently at the very center of our galaxy. The 41st fact is that Sagittarius A asterisk lies about 26,000 light-years away from the Earth, deep at the center of our galaxy, far across the crowded fields of glowing stars. A distance so great that the faint radio glow reaching us tonight set out on its long journey around 26,000 years ago, long before our earliest written words. The 42nd fact is that careful measurements place its distance very precisely, at about 26,996 light-years, gently refined over many patient years of study, so that we now know with real and quiet confidence just how far away this dark heart of the galaxy truly rests from our small blue world. The 43rd fact is that a light-year is the distance that light travels in a single year, sweeping through space faster than anything else there is, and it is a distance far greater than the mind can hold, and to reach the center of the galaxy would take that light some 26,000 of those years, a journey so long that it gently softens the very meaning of distance itself. The 44th fact is that astronomers learned the distance to Sagittarius A asterisk by tracking the stars that orbit closely around it, watching them loop through space year after patient year, and from the shape and the speed of those orbits, they could gently calculate not only the black hole's mass, but exactly how far away it must lie. The 45th fact is that circling very near to Sagittarius A asterisk is a small family of stars that astronomers call the S-stars, swift suns whipping around the black hole in tight and looping paths, and by following these stars faithfully across the years, scientists slowly revealed the hidden giant around which they all quietly turn. The 46th fact is that the most famous of these is a star named S2, which sweeps around Sagittarius A asterisk in a long, stretched orbit that takes about 16 years to complete, so that within the span of a single human life, we can watch this one distant star travel all the way around the black hole several times over. The 47th fact is that when S2 swings closest to the black hole, it passes within about 120 times the distance from the Earth to the Sun, a startlingly near approach, skimming past the dark edge of Sagittarius A asterisk before swinging out once more on its long and faithful journey through the years. The 48th fact is that at that closest point, the star S2 races along at nearly 7,700 kilometers every second, about 2.5% of the speed of light itself. A truly breathtaking pace, and yet from our distant vantage it seems only to drift, slow and graceful, in a long and quiet loop. The 49th fact is that by following the star S2 patiently for decades, astronomers proved beyond any doubt that something invisible, immensely heavy, and extremely small must lie at the center it circles, for only a supermassive black hole could hold a star in such a swift and tightly bound orbit as this one. The 50th fact is that two great teams of astronomers, one led by Reinhard Genzel and the other by Andrea Ghez, spent many years tracking these stars from opposite sides of the world. Their careful and devoted watching slowly building the strongest evidence we have that Sagittarius A asterisk is truly a black hole. The 51st fact is that this work required a patience beyond most human endeavors, for the stars near the center move slowly across our sky and must be watched year after year, night after quiet night. A gentle labor spanning nearly 30 years, gathering the faint motions of distant suns into a single beautiful proof. The 52nd fact is that to see these stars through the thick dust at the galaxy's center, astronomers used infrared light, which slips softly through the haze, and clever instruments that steady the blur of our own atmosphere, gently sharpening their view until the swift dance of the S-stars came clearly and quietly into sight. The 53rd fact is that for this remarkable achievement, Reinhard Genzel and Andrea Ghez were awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics in the year 2020, sharing that great honor together. A gentle recognition of decades of patient watching that finally revealed the invisible giant resting at the very heart of our galaxy. The 54th fact is that they shared that Nobel Prize with a third scientist, Roger Penrose, who had shown long before, using only mathematics, that black holes could truly form and were a genuine prediction of our understanding of gravity. A quiet meeting of theory and observation honored gently and fittingly together. The 55th fact is that Andrea Ghez became only the fourth woman ever to receive the Nobel Prize in Physics, a gentle milestone in the long and unfolding story of science. Her devoted years of watching the galactic center earning her a lasting place among the most honored minds ever to study the quiet workings of the cosmos. The 56th fact is that our knowledge of the distance to the galactic center has grown steadily sharper over the years, refined again and again by tracking the S-stars ever more precisely, so that a number once known only roughly is now measured with gentle confidence, another quiet triumph of long and careful watching. The 57th fact is that the star S2, in its close and swift passage, has even allowed astronomers to test the predictions of Einstein's theory of gravity near a black hole, and gently, faithfully, the star's motion followed exactly what the theory foretold. Its light softly reddened just as Einstein had said it would be. The 58th fact is that 26,000 light-years is a distance so vast that even our fastest spacecraft, traveling for all of human history, would cover only the tiniest fraction of the way, and yet the light and radio waves of Sagittarius A* cross it faithfully, arriving quietly at our telescopes after their long journey through the dark. The 59th fact is that our own sun rests far out in a calm and quiet neighborhood of the galaxy, more than halfway from the center to the edge, gently removed from the crowded and busy heart, so that we watch Sagittarius A* from a peaceful distance, safe and serene in our own quiet corner of the Milky Way. The 60th fact is that through decades of patient watching, through the faithful orbits of the S-stars and the honored work of Genzel, Ghez, and Penrose, we came at last to truly know the center of our galaxy, proving that a supermassive black hole rests there, 26,000 light-years away, quiet and dark and wonderfully real. The 61st fact is that on the 12th of May, in the year 2022, astronomers revealed to the world the very first image of Sagittarius A* itself, a picture of the black hole at the center of our galaxy. A gentle and historic moment, in which humankind gazed for the first time upon the dark and quiet heart of its own home. The 62nd fact is that this image was captured by the Event Horizon Telescope, not a single instrument but a great network of radio telescopes scattered all across the Earth, from high mountaintops to distant frozen poles, linked together so cleverly that they acted as one enormous eye, nearly as wide as the whole planet itself. The 63rd fact is that to see something as tiny in our sky as the shadow of Sagittarius A*, a telescope truly the size of the Earth was needed, and so many separate dishes were joined into one. Their faint signals gathered together and combined, patiently, to form a picture of astonishing and delicate sharpness. The 64th fact is that the image shows a soft and glowing ring of light, a bright circle of warm orange surrounding a dark and quiet center, and that gentle ring is the glow of hot gas swirling around the black hole, bent into a circle by its powerful gravity, cradling the shadow softly at its very heart. The 65th fact is that the dark patch at the center of that glowing ring is the shadow of the black hole itself, the region where light is swallowed and cannot return to us. A quiet circle of darkness, framed gently by light, the closest we have ever come to seeing a black hole with our own wondering eyes. The 66th fact is that around Sagittarius A* drifts a thin and swirling disk of hot gas, slowly spiraling inward, growing warmer and brighter as it falls. A gentle process astronomers call accretion, a soft whirlpool of glowing matter, circling the dark edge before some of it quietly slips across and is gone. The 67th fact is that the gas swirling near Sagittarius A* is heated to millions of degrees as it circles, glowing brightly in radio waves and in X-rays. And it is this hot, luminous halo of matter that lets us see the black hole at all, tracing its dark shape softly against the surrounding glow. The 68th fact is that every so often, Sagittarius A* gives a quiet flicker, a brief flare of X-ray light, as a small clump of gas is heated suddenly near its edge. A gentle brightening that fades again within hours, like a soft and distant candle flaring once before it settles back into stillness. The 69th fact is that the image of that glowing ring matched almost perfectly what our theories had long predicted a black hole should look like, confirming beyond doubt what the orbiting stars had already told us. A beautiful meeting of prediction and picture, the unseen at last made gently and quietly visible. The 70th fact is that Sagittarius A* was the second black hole ever to be imaged, following the giant at the center of a distant galaxy called M87, pictured 3 years before. Two dark hearts revealed within a few short years, opening a gentle new chapter in our long quest to understand these silent objects. The 71st fact is that Sagittarius A* was in some ways harder to photograph than the more distant giant, for it is smaller and its swirling gas changes quickly, shifting even as the telescopes watched, so that capturing its steady image required years of careful and gentle work to hold the flickering picture patiently still. The 72nd fact is that Sagittarius A* is a remarkably quiet and gentle black hole, resting calmly at the center of our galaxy rather than blazing with fierce light. For some black holes and other galaxies feed hungrily and shine as brilliant beacons called quasars, while ours drifts softly, dim, and peaceful in the dark. The 73rd fact is that Sagittarius A* barely eats at all, drawing in only a very thin trickle of gas, far less than it easily could, so that it shines only faintly for its great size, an underfed and slumbering giant, resting quietly through long ages rather than feasting brightly upon the matter around it. The 74th fact is that the amount of matter Sagittarius A* swallows is astonishingly small, so little that, if it were a person, it would be nibbling only a single grain of rice across many long years. A gentle and sparing appetite, keeping the black hole calm and dim at the heart of the galaxy. The 75th fact is that when a supermassive black hole feeds greedily, the gas falling into it can blaze brighter than all the stars of its galaxy combined, forming a quasar, one of the most brilliant things in the universe. Yet Sagittarius A* has long since settled instead into a quiet and gentle rest. The 76th fact is that Sagittarius A* may not always have been so quiet, for there are gentle signs that it flared far more brightly in the ancient past, millions of years ago, soft echoes of old outbursts still lingering in the gas around it, hinting at a livelier youth before its long and peaceful slumber. The 77th fact is that stretching far above and below the center of our galaxy are two enormous, faint bubbles of glowing gas, which may be the quiet remnants of a great outburst from Sagittarius A* long ago. Vast and gentle shapes, drifting slowly outward, perhaps the fading breath of an ancient and brighter time. The 78th fact is that Sagittarius A*, for all its power, is not pulling the galaxy inward or drawing the stars toward any doom, for its gravity reaches only so far, beyond a certain gentle distance. It is simply an ordinary weight, and the stars orbit it calmly and safely, exactly as the Earth orbits the Sun. The 79th fact is that the picture of Sagittarius A* taught us that black holes are truly as our theories describe, round and dark and ringed with light, behaving gently just as gravity predicts. A quiet confirmation, gathered from telescopes all across the Earth, of one of the strangest and most beautiful ideas in all of science. The 80th fact is that in that single soft image of a glowing orange ring around a quiet circle of dark, we finally saw with our own eyes the calm and sleeping heart of our galaxy. An underfed and gentle giant, resting silently, revealed at last to the patient and wondering gaze of all humankind. The 81st fact is that our own sun, carrying the Earth and all its planets, drifts in a great slow circle around Sagittarius A*, taking about 225 to 250 million years to complete a single lap, one vast and patient orbit, longer than we can truly imagine, turning quietly through the ages. The 82nd fact is that this long journey of the Sun around the galactic center is sometimes gently called a galactic year or a cosmic year, a single turn so vast it dwarfs all of recorded time. And in all the long ages since the very first dinosaurs walked upon the Earth, our Sun has completed only about one single loop around the quiet dark heart of the Milky Way. The 83rd fact is that even now, as you rest quietly in your bed, you are being carried around the center of the galaxy at more than 200 kilometers every second, swept along with the Sun on its great orbit. And yet the motion is so smooth and so vast that you feel nothing at all, only stillness and calm. The 84th fact is that our safe and gentle distance of 26,000 light-years from the center means the black hole poses no danger to us whatsoever, resting far across the galaxy, so that we may gaze toward it in peace, knowing it turns quietly at the heart of our home, unimaginably far from the calm of the Earth. The 85th fact is that everything in the Milky Way, every star, every drifting cloud of gas, every distant world, turns slowly around this single quiet center, hundreds of billions of suns wheeling gently through the dark in one great and patient rotation, all bound together softly by the gravity of the galaxy they share. The 86th fact is that while Sagittarius A* rests at the center, it is not the black hole alone that holds the galaxy together, but the great combined gravity of all its stars and its vast unseen dark matter. A gentle and shared embrace, cradling the whole slow wheel of the Milky Way through the ages. The 87th fact is that around Sagittarius A*, the stars are packed far more closely than in our own quiet corner, gathered into a dense and glowing swarm at the galaxy's heart, millions of suns crowded gently together, drifting and turning around the black hole in a bright and slowly circling sea of light. The 88th fact is that this dense gathering of stars at the very center is called the nuclear star cluster, one of the most crowded places in all the galaxy. And yet even there, the stars are so far apart that they almost never touch, drifting past one another slowly and gently through the ancient dark. The 89th fact is that the heart of the galaxy holds some of its oldest stars, gentle and long-lived suns that have circled the center for billions of years. Quiet and faithful, they have turned around Sagittarius A* since the Milky Way itself was young, keeping their slow orbits through unimaginable spans of time. The 90th fact is that our whole solar system, the Sun and the Earth and every planet, moon and comet, rides together on this one long journey around the galactic center, drifting as a single small family through the dark, bound gently to one another, and to the great slow turning of the galaxy around its quiet heart. The 91st fact is that nearly every large galaxy in the universe is thought to hold a supermassive black hole at its center, just as our own galaxy does. So that Sagittarius A* is not a strange exception, but a gentle and ordinary member of a vast family of dark hearts, each anchoring its own great wheel of stars. The 92nd fact is that a galaxy and its central black hole are thought to grow together, gently and slowly, over billions of years, each quietly shaping the other as they age. So that Sagittarius A* and the Milky Way have drifted through all their long history as faithful companions, bound together from the very beginning. The 93rd fact is that Sagittarius A* will endure far longer than the stars around it, resting quietly at the center of the galaxy for an almost endless span of time to come. A patient and faithful heart, turning gently through ages so vast that the whole history of humankind is but a single soft breath within them. The 94th fact is that near a black hole, time itself flows more slowly, gently stretched by the deep and patient pull of its gravity, so that a clock resting near Sagittarius A* would tick more softly and more slowly than a clock here on the Earth, a quiet and dreamlike reminder of how strange and gentle the whole vast cosmos truly is. The 95th fact is that when you gaze toward the constellation of Sagittarius on a warm summer night, you are looking softly across 26,000 years of space and time, toward the quiet heart of everything you have ever known. A gentle center, turning patiently in the dark, holding the whole galaxy tenderly within its embrace. The 96th fact is that the great slow turning of the galaxy around Sagittarius A* has continued faithfully since long before the Earth was born, and will continue long after this quiet night has softly passed. A calm and endless rhythm, older than the mountains, older than the seas, holding gently through every sleeping hour. The 97th fact is that far away at the center of the galaxy, Sagittarius A* turns on through the dark, slow and silent and utterly unhurried, just as it has for billions upon billions of years. And there is a deep and gentle peace in knowing that something so ancient and so calm rests quietly at the heart of it all. The 98th fact is that you may let every small worry drift away now, as gently as a star drifting around the galactic center, for the whole vast Milky Way turns slowly and safely far above you, patient and calm and utterly unhurried, exactly as it has since long before you were ever born, cradling the quiet night softly around you. The 99th fact is that you are a small and gentle and deeply beloved part of this same vast and turning galaxy, resting safely upon a quiet blue world, drifting slowly around a dark and distant heart, held gently and precisely exactly where you are meant to be tonight, beneath the calm and ancient stars. The 100th fact is that as you drift now into sleep, Sagittarius A* goes on turning at the center of the galaxy, and the whole Milky Way goes on wheeling slowly around it, patient and calm and endless, holding you gently and safely through all the quiet hours of the night. Rest now, sleep well, and thank you for drifting with me beyond the stars.